Incredibly privileged to be at the University of Michigan, obviously a massive stadium, 106,000 people, and this is all part of our relationship and our partnership with the NCAA. So Epic are partnering with the NCAA for 5 years initially, educating college athletes around the potential dangers of problem gambling and gambling out of control, but sports betting integrity.
We're delighted to come to Michigan today to provide the education for those guys and make sure they're equipped to deal with all of the risks that can and may come their way in the coming years. So we cover how and why athletes are more likely statistically to suffer from gambling related harm than the general population, and the reasons behind that through competitive nature, sporting knowledge, injury, escapism, buzz replication, all of the reasons why athletes are statistically and evidentially more likely to suffer from harm. We also cover the impact of sports betting integrity and the obviously links between the two, and the other knock-on impacts such as social media abuse, and where to identify harm in colleagues and teammates, but also where to access support should they need that.
With the growing popularity of sports betting and the legalization across different states and the access to student athletes these days, it's definitely been at the forefront of the educational efforts. The NCAA has their standard slogan of "Don't bet on it," but taking it a step further through this sort of educational platform really helps our student athletes understand why they shouldn't bet on it and how to protect the information that should stay in-house. I think it's the first-hand storytelling, the authenticity of the guest speakers that talk about their personal experience with problem gambling. I think really allows student athletes to tap into that empathy and realizing hey, this is the successful person that is speaking to us. They've been able to turn their life around, but it wasn't always sunshines and rainbows. It was some dark times that they had to go through, and they're able to come out on the other side and really explain how they were able to turn their lives around from problem gambling. Ultimately, we want to protect the integrity of the sport. And so I think as long as we can educate student athletes on the reasons behind and the reasons why we want to protect the integrity and also protect them as people, we don't want them to get into a problem gambling relationship. I think that's why it's becoming more and more important and something that's going to continue to be at the forefront of every administrator's mind.
There's 500,000 college athletes at any one time across over 1,100 colleges. So, they are a demographic who potentially will suffer gambling related harm. So for the organisation at the NCAA to be so proactive in terms of an education programme, in terms of looking at the resources that are available, in terms of examining their own relationship with gambling at the moment, it just shows what a front-thinking organisation it is. And we've been very, very proud to be involved with them for the last 12 or 15 months. And we're very, very pleased to have this very long-term relationship with them so that we can really stay ahead of this issue, which is definitely going to be across college athletes.